Hello, guys. Welcome to this session. My name is Wahid. I'm a cybersecurity networks lecturer. Today, we're going to have an industry expert here with me, Dr. Amir Taba. And I would like to ask him a few questions. But before that, uh, I would like you to watch a short video on UDirect, the business startup company Amir set up a few years ago. Let's first see this video and then we get to know Amir more. Dr. Amir, welcome to this session.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be with you.
Thank you. So we have seen a demo for PIPS, Platform Independent Positioning System, and it's a patented technology for accurate and real-time location tracking on portable devices. So before I move on to PIPS, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your university qualifications, please.
Sure. My name is Amir. I'm a co-founder and CTO of Direct. It's a startup company. Started about 2017, and I've got PhD in electronics. I was graduated in 2013 from University of Surrey, and right after that, I started this company out of some of the researches that we conducted during my PhD years.
Mm-hmm. And how about PIPS? Where does this idea come from?
So PIPS is a technology for positioning, and the idea for having an accurate positioning system was around for many years. It was actually started in military areas. Most of the use cases historically was related to the military area, but nowadays many of the new communication technologies are relying on positioning systems, and there are many different location-based services that people use on the day-to-day life. Imagine when you want to do wayfinding, and or if you have played like Pokemon, the sort of mobile games that everyone plays. So all these technologies rely on positioning systems. But we realize that there is a gap for a technology that works both indoor and outdoor. Most of the technologies were only available outdoor, so you can not use your mobile phone GPS indoor with the same accuracy that you use it outdoor. So PIPS is there to basically fill this gap and provide a service that is reliable both indoor and outdoor.
Is there any cybersecurity application to PIPS, if you want to mention?
So location is something is a very, very sensitive data. It has a lot of privacy issues. When you work with location data, you have to make sure that no one can access location of other people without their permission. So yes, there is a lot of security and privacy concerns, and basically a need for security implementation when we provide location data.
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, your invention, I would say, is independent from GPS for positioning and location tracking that you're doing. Am I right?
Yeah. So our technology basically uses inertial sensors that such as accelerometer or magnetometer, sensors that are already available on many of the smart devices for example, for step counting and other applications that were not originally designed for location, but we have leveraged them to provide location services.
Yeah, and would you like to tell us a little bit about the demo that we just watched, the scenario behind it?
Yeah, so the idea was to show how accurate we can track indoors. Not only that, we wanted to show that now we can track in 3 dimensions, which is very important. So if you look at the demo, you see that I'm walking inside the building. I have a mobile phone in my hand. All the calculations are happening on the device, and basically we are actually processing on the device, so we don't even pass any of the information to the network. Everything happens on the device, and we have actually shown that we can accurately track even when you travel on the stairs or use a lift. It can precisely track your location.
Amir, amongst different talents you have, I think I can call you a data scientist, isn't it? So I just want to know why you are interested at all in data science and computer science in this field.
Well, I think it has 2 aspects into it. One is generally innovation and creating tools. It's something that is rewarding. I mean, as a humans enjoy invention, and that has been actually a motivation through the history for human to go forward and build new things. On the other side, we are in the age of digital era, and data science is a tool that allows you to innovate in the digital era. So that should be the fundamental reason when I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. And my next question, I think, is related to this one. If you are at your startup company or to your university job, because I know you're academic too, if you are to hire an individual for position, let's say, related to PIPS technology, what attributes would you consider for a successful candidate?
Yeah, do you mean like technical skills or personal?
Yeah, technical skills and also professional skills. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Technical, we are looking for people who can basically code. they are the minimum and the most essential one is Python and Android. So
Mm,
uh, those are the ones that we do actually most of the development and testing on
mm,
that. And a little bit of knowledge of data science is also important.
mhm,
But the most important thing that we always look into is to find people who are responsible. I
mm,
mean, technical knowledge can be developed, but to find the people who can really, do a task that you give to them and deliver and really stay passionate about their job is very difficult. So, um, finding people who are responsible, open to new challenges, is something that we would definitely consider, and that would make the difference between candidates mainly.
mm. And Amir, if you can tell us a little bit about the journey that it takes for, let's say, a graduate to first have an idea and then, based on that idea, to set up a startup company or to join other industry sectors. That journey, because I know that you have done it from the very beginning by yourself, and then you developed that idea, and then you started running your company, your own company. So that journey, where does it begin from?
Yeah. So actually, when I did my PhD, we came across with this idea of how to improve the location accuracy using the inertial sensors, and we managed to patent it by the University of Surrey. Later on, we had some support from the University Tech Transfer Office. So they actually managed to patent it globally, which is a very costly process. So if I wanted to do it myself, I could have never done
Mm,
that. So with the help of them, I managed to patent it. And once we had a patent, we were in a good position to absorb some funding. So what we did is we applied for government fundings to basically develop the technology based on the idea that we had, and also we had a proof of concept um, during my PhD actually. Yeah, that funding we managed actually to get it, and we prototyped and then developed it further to a product.
yeah.
That was the main goal.
So
Yeah.
that somehow answers my next question. I was to ask you, how do you see role of university degree uh, at different levels, undergrad or postgrad, for forming
Yeah.
that idea or for being joined into industry sectors for employment after your graduation. But I think you somehow covered that question. Do you want to add anything there?
Yeah, I think university helps a lot. Especially universities that are working with industry can bring you to the right questions,
Mm,
and that's what you need if you want to start a business or you want to develop your skills to get a good employment. So
yeah.
you need to work on something that is relevant and businesses are focused on.
Mm,
And universities that are working with businesses, they can point you to that direction, basically.
mm. And as a computer scientist and also CEO of your company, um, what are your career goals, Amir? I just want you to give us an idea for computer scientists, cybersecurity, or data scientists when they run their own business based on the idea that they get from, let's say, university during their education. Then they set up their company and they set some goals. And I want to see some goals for your uh, business at the moment. Do you have any examples to tell us?
Yeah. So basically, as a CTO, I need to always look for improving my product. I need to make sure that my product remains competitive with the rest of the market. And that's basically part of my day-to-day job. I need to look for other technologies, speak to other people who have experience and are exposed to different basically venues. When the technologies becomes available, I need to learn new technologies, new methods. Always keep myself up to date with the technologies, and also direct my team in a way that our product actually keeps its edge with respect to the market.
Mm. And to get to that point, of course, you face some difficulties. The hardest situation you have faced in the course of development of this idea for PIPs or your academic career?
Yeah, when you actually ask this question, the first thing that came to my mind is the cash flow. Because for startups, the most critical point is to keep their cash flow positive with a limited budget that they have, and also they have to remain competitive with this limited budget. And there is a very big competition out there. So this is very difficult to do that. And in order to do that, you have to be creative, look for many different, maybe innovative way to generate revenue. That's what we did. We tried to uh, do some things that were not really our main sort of business, but we could relate to and try to generate revenue in a way that we can maintain our cash flow positive until the real product comes out, and um, basically we can sell and create revenue. But that requires a lot of planning, a lot of creative thinking, and also a lot of effort. And also the most important thing was many of the efforts that we put in didn't succeed. So let's say only 10% of that was successful, and through that you have to learn how to keep yourself together and stay positive. Yeah.
Very, very insightful comments, yeah. And of course, overcoming those obstacles, you get to this position very successful at your profession and also as an academic. Uh, what would you describe as the greatest accomplishment you have achieved during these years working in tech sector?
I think so far the greatest thing that we have done was to turn an idea, which was basically a few lines of formula on a piece of paper that we published a few years ago, into a real product that in a few months millions of people would use. So when I say the journey, I think that was real accomplishment. Yeah.
Well done, yeah. I can say that, yeah. And to get to that position, I'm asking this question because your audience are undergraduate students who wish to just start their degree with us at Staffordshire University Digital Institute London. So they probably would like to know you as a data scientist, how you upgrade your knowledge, and what's it like to be in your position. If you want to describe a typical day at your work in your position to do your job, what would you have to say to them?
Yeah. Actually, I want to say something that I learned from uh, someone else, um, which is quite insightful for me and hopefully for your audience as well. Yeah, I was talking to a VC of Adobe, one of the VCs. He's like a billionaire person, and I was asking him, "What motivates you on your day-to-day job? I mean, you've got everything, you have made a lot of money, and what makes you to actually wake up in the morning and do your job?" And what he told me was interesting. He said, when I wake up and I start my job, I always think, am I cruising or am I actually thinking about my next step? Which is something that I also learned, and I try to practice it every day. Another thing is when I start my job, because we are still a startup, there are many different roles that I have to take. I have to code, I have to do data analysis, I have to manage the team. Uh, there are business development activities I do as well. So what I do is I make a list of what I need to do, and then there is a matrix that I create out of that, which consists of necessary stuff and not necessary, urgent stuff and not urgent. And I just focus on necessary and urgent ones. And if I can finish that, I'll done my job. And if I have some more time, then I would look into urgent and not necessary and they remain there. But that's how I plan my day.
Yeah, great stuff there. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. And also, uh, I would like to tell us a little bit about teamwork for you as a data scientist or tech expert. Uh, how do you see teamwork, and what skills do you think is important for our graduates or our students to develop when they get to your position to be able to be effective members of a team um, in this realm of technology? I would say.
Yeah. So especially if they want to work in startups, teamwork is something that I would say startups value much more than enterprises, I think, because the roles are not that much defined. The challenges are very broad, and it's very important to be able to collaborate effectively with other team members and to be able to communicate uh, what they know, what they can actually put into practice, and the issues that they have. Um, and so it needs a lot of interpersonal skills to do that, and they should be able to somehow basically convey what knowledge they have and communicate it effectively with other team members.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. And may I ask, Amir, who do you admire as a leadership figure for computer professionals?
Well, there are so many people who are working in this area that I admire, but I don't have any particular person in mind because I've learned a lot of things from many different people.
Hmm.
But well, I would like to share something with you, which is I think it's gives another perspective of leadership and learning about the leadership. I think football coaches are quite interesting figures actually to follow. If you want to learn about leadership, I think it would be good to watch them because because you understand the game easily and you understand the challenges that they are facing, and then you can see how they are making decisions and moving forward through good and bad days. So that's actually my personal view to this.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very interesting. And Amir, for the final question, well, cybersecurity students of mine will watch this video and then they will decide, hopefully, to join us. And they start the BSc Cybersecurity first year degree with us at Staffordshire University. What would you have to recommend to them at the very beginning of this journey for them to consider? Because I know that you have done your BSc, you have done your MSc, you have done your PhD, so you have done the academic journey completely. You have very good experience from the professional side of the story. You ran your own business, you started your company, startup company. So at the end of the journey, I wouldn't say at the end, but in the middle of this journey, what would you say to those people who want to start this journey?
Well, I can say about one thing actually. Maybe actually this is something that recently has came to my mind when I talked to my own employees who are young and they are also some of them are intern as well. Like they're taking internship from universities and they're working with us. What one thing that I see and I think is quite important that young students know is that you don't need to know everything. You don't need to expand yourself in many different fields. I would say that's a mistake. You have to find one area, one specific area that you are good at. You feel like you enjoy working on that area, and become an expert in that area. So some people are very good at coding. They don't like mathematics. They don't like data science, and they are pushing themselves to learn that and to become to develop on that area. I After many years actually of working with different people, I think that's not a good strategy. If you become the best coder, you would be much more successful than a moderate coder who knows a little bit of data science.
Thank you, and that was it. And hopefully, we will have you sometime as a guest lecturer at Staffordshire University, and that would be a great opportunity for our students and, of course, for me. Thank you very much, Amir, for joining us today.
Pleasure.
And I wish you all the best. Yeah.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.